Hi, my name is Jeff. I want to talk to you today about how you can monetize the skills you already have to turn that into a business, turn that into a digital product that you can sell. How do I know you can do this? Well, if you are employed already, then your employer is actually your first customer. You have skills that they are paying you to use on a regular basis. So you already have one customer. Can you find more customers? The answer is probably yes. So the other reason that I know you can do this is because I've done it. I had what I thought were a very narrow set of skills that I had to figure out how to monetize, how to use outside of the roles that I had. So I was, for a number of years, worked in nonprofits, worked at churches as a youth pastor. Had a great time. We loved it. We had a number of good years, a number of years that were harder, but at different times I would find myself either unemployed, looking for work as I was transitioning, or just needing more money. A lot of the churches did not pay enough for my growing family or for any kind of preparation for the future. So I was always looking for kind of jobs that I could do on the side. And I spent, I ran down a lot of rabbit holes. This is, right around, the internet was available and there was lots of scams. There were just so many ways, like now, where you can find yourself trying to get rich quick and waste a lot of money and time, which you don't have. So I knew I wanted to be in business at some point. I realized that I felt for a lot of years as though I was not a good employee. I wasn't a good employee because I was always trying to recreate or reinvent the vision. I was trying to create new systems, new ways of doing things. Nobody stopped and said, hey, Jeff, you know what? You are actually designed to be an entrepreneur. You're designed to be running things, to be starting things. So I had always, for like 20 years, been trying to fit myself into the wrong role. And here's where things kind of came to a head. I was 40, had my 40th birthday. I was unemployed again for like the third time in I don't know how many years, maybe 10 years. I really had no prospects. So I did not celebrate my birthday. I had this idea before that would be this amazing event. Obviously it wasn't, because I was unemployed, discouraged. I don't know if I was depressed, but I was just, I really was not happy with where I was, and I didn't know how to fix it. This was in October. December, I went to New Zealand for a 2-week job interview. I recommend New Zealand. I do not recommend a 2-week job interview. I felt physically ill by the time I was done and realized that we were just not a good fit for that role, and I didn't want to live on the other side of the world at the time. So I began to do a couple things. I thought, you know what? There's a lot of money in this computer programming racket. I don't think it's going anywhere. So I started to teach myself computer programming. Quickly realized a couple things. One, I was not detail-oriented enough to be a computer programmer. And I also wasn't really cut out to be doing that for 8 hours a day. Much later on, like last spring, so 10 months ago, I was diagnosed with ADHD, which might have helped me with that process of saying, hey, I'm going to become a computer programmer. But what I took from that experience was, all right, there is a lot of money in computer programming in this industry. How can I take what I know how to do and monetize that so that I can earn money from this industry? I started applying for roles as trainers because I had done that before. That wasn't getting me anywhere, because when you're working for a nonprofit, for example, or at a church, or you're a missionary, you may have a hard time interpreting or translating all of the skills that you have into a resume so that someone's going to give you a shot. And that's really where I was. Like, I could say that through events, I did marketing. I would have 1,000 people show up for events, but it's really not something that makes sense. It doesn't always translate well. So then I got to the point where I thought, all right, what do I know how to do? I know how to run camps. I had been running camps. I attended camp. So I knew how to do camps. I knew how to do weekly classes. I knew how to do some website development using WordPress. And I knew a bit about marketing. I knew about marketing because for 12 years, I had been trying to get teenagers to come to church. And that can be a pretty tough sell. So I thought, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create coding camps for kids. In my case, I wanted to take the skills that I have and turn it into a physical business rather than an online or digital business. So I needed to validate that idea. I talked to some other dads. I said, hey, you know what? Here's what I've noticed. Our school has 3 computers for 300 kids. Other countries, like Estonia, have a comprehensive computer science program for kindergarten through grade 12. How are we going to prepare our kids for those jobs in the future? And it turns out they shared a similar concern. So I did what I knew how to do. I created a very simple website. I'm sure I could find it online and post it. Actually, initially it was just a Google form. So some Facebook ads and a Google form announcing summer camps in 3 different cities. I should say I had no curriculum, no staff, no locations, no computers, not even a business, nothing, just an idea that I wanted to see if it worked. I ran ads and people started registering for the camp. They were giving deposits. At the time, it was, I don't know if I've ever recaptured this high, but we had on our fridge a whiteboard, and every time my phone dinged with an alert that someone had registered on this Google form, me or the kids would run over and mark it on the board until they were all sold out. And they did. They sold out in about 2 weeks. So from there, I had to find locations, find staff, find curriculum, but it worked out. Now I've been doing that for 10 years. We are in 7 countries. We've been in more. We have over 30 franchisees, and it's become a real business using skills that I could not get hired for, but I could create my own opportunity for. And even now, I have taken those skills that I've learned and turned it into something else. So now I am also a head of a business department at a university. I get to teach business, which I love. And I am still, even now, doing things like this to use the skills that I've learned in coaching, business startup, marketing, web development, to create a digital product, to create a group that I can use to help people also monetize the skills that they have to get either the extra income that they need, start a new business, and that's what I am trying to do through this, to really help people have financial freedom, financial stability, and monetize the skills that they already have. I'll do more videos talking about my first attempts, because they were not always successful, and I didn't have everything laid out yet. But for step 1, is just realizing that you have skills that can be monetized. There might be a link somewhere around this page that you can click on to join our group, subscribe to my newsletter, book a one-on-one call with me. I have a variety of levels of ways that I can help people. Everything, just like I said, from a newsletter where we share tips to a group where you can have accountability and support and weekly coaching calls with me, to a more direct one-on-one coaching where we will help you first visualize the life that you want to have, which is so important, then create a digital product based on the skills you already have, create a minimal viable product, test it, roll it out, and then have your own business based on the skills that you already have. So that is how I did it. That's how I know that you can do it. And I look forward to helping you achieve that.